Our weed of the week today is wild oats.
Well, if you are a cereal grower, so you're raising wheat on a continuous basis, you very well know how much wild oats will cost you in yield. When you're comparing to foxtails, wild oats is going to cost 4 times as much of a yield penalty if you don't get it under control. So it's really critical that you take care of this. If you're rotating with other crops, they give you some great opportunities to take care of wild oats. If you're still just going to raise wheat, well, then you're going to have to be awfully fussy to take care of this weed.
Well, this is just a spring annual weed, so going out and doing something in the fall, generally speaking, isn't a real big deal. What we're after is spring control. So personally, I would suggest getting a pre-emerge herbicide out there. In corn or in soybeans, it's pretty easy. Soybeans especially, you can go out there with trifluralin, Prowl. It's going to wipe out wild oats. In corn, the best product ever was Eradicane. We don't have that on the market anymore. We do have Eptam though. It's basically the same chemistry for alfalfa. But in corn, just use something like Balance Flex, maybe even Harness Surpass Outlook Duo. Will thin the population a little bit, but then we get to wheat, and that's the big one. I would absolutely, if it's me, start with Prepare.
Well, Prepare is an ALS product, Brian, so that's one of the things too. You've got to try and mix up your modes of action. You've really got Group 2s and Group 1s. That's it. So now you're stuck with a Group 1 for post-emerge.
Yeah, but that's pretty easy because Axial is going to be the best thing post-emerge. That's an ACCase. So I use an ALS pre, I use an ACCase post. Awesome for weed resistance and awesome for wild oats control.
Well, if you've got wild oats in your area, it is important that you know if there is a resistance issue. So if you do have wild oats resistant to one of those families, make sure that you're protecting that other family by using pre-emerge herbicides where you can and rotating modes of action in your other crops.
All right, well, let's talk just a little bit more about what else you can do. Roundup as a burn down. You could switch to Zidua as a pre. That's one of the Group 15s, kind of like Outlook or Warrant. I mean, there are a lot of Group 15s that are out there. Post-emerge in corn and soybeans also, make sure you have excellent control there, so going into your wheat crop, you don't see near the wild oats pressure. Again, Roundup will work just fine, but all the grass killers in both corn and in soybeans will take out wild oats just fine.
This is a very important weed. I know it doesn't seem like much because you say, oats, come on, how bad can it be? But wild oats can be a big yield robber. Get them under control on your farm. That's all for this week's Weed. Iron Talk is coming up next.